Well, good evening, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I hope everybody's having a great day. It's been a very busy one, a very busy, rewarding day. Going to the CSA show, it was great to see Micah Parsons, to see Danny White. It's the first time I've actually met Danny White. It was nice to see him, and that Super Bowl ring. Man, that ring, damn. We saw Brandon Aubrey. We got to see Zach Martin, and we got some stuff signed so that way we can give it away to you guys, because it's all about giving back to the fans and things. And I'm going to say it was a great time because meeting the fans and spending time with the fans is always fun. I actually had some 49er fans. They were incognito. My hip and my knee have been killing me today, and it was like, you know what? I got to sit down waiting for the autograph signing. So they have chairs now lined up there for us old people, because we've been going there for years and years, and they realize the old people can't stand up for that long. And I sat down to some guys that had on some Notre Dame gear. And they suckered me in because they were talking about Zach Martin. Oh, man, we're here to get Zach Martin's autograph and, and everything else, because he went to Notre Dame and things, and showing me the cards and stuff. And they were getting the old ball coach's autograph and things like that. Come to find out, they were literally in disguise, because a guy was a 49er fan. Because then he pulled out and said, yeah, man, he said, George Kittle's a nice guy. What? George Kittle. I said, yeah, I'm a 49er fan. He pulled, shit. Here we go. And I was like, you're a bang, bang Niner gang? He's like, man, I don't know who started that thing. He said, I hate that. So I was like, okay, you might not be that bad of a Niner fan then. But be that as it may, we had a great time. And I look forward to giving some of the plaques and stuff away to you guys. And Micah Parsons, he let me know that he's holding out on his dad, because I gave him a shirt that was supposed to be for his dad, and he was like, no, I'm keeping this. And he said, no, I kept that shirt, man. Shit. But be that as it may, it was great. It's always great to see the fans, and some of the people we see year after year, and it's like, a family reunion, or in things, and I love it. And so many people gave me condolences from me losing my dad and so on. But the interesting thing is, a lot of Cowboy fans are fed up and tired of Dak Prescott, and they're looking for something else. And that includes my son, Michael. He's kind of like, Dak got to do something, man. I'm sick of this, man. He's a bum. And I was like, son, are you serious? And listening to people, they're kind of giddy about Joe Milton. And, some of the talking heads, we've heard like Shady McCoy basically saying, Dak better get his realtor ready. Okay. All right. And people are talking about the pressure that this puts on Dak Prescott. And I found a couple of things that reiterates exactly what we're going through with the extra pressure put on Dak Prescott. Let's go to the tape here.
For Jerry and Stephen Jones,
hold up.
This is a big red-headed line in the sand when it comes to the negotiations with Dak Prescott.
Hold up.
Because here's what Dak Prescott now knows. Here's what I know, what Mike McCarthy knows, what the Dallas Cowboys know. The Dallas Cowboys can win 10 games with Andy Dalton as their quarterback. Can they win a playoff game? History says Andy Dalton can't win in the postseason. Will they be great in primetime? How many times have we flashed that incredible board of Andy Dalton? Oh, look away. Hideous when it comes to performances at night when the spotlight's on them. And the Dallas Cowboys, they're always going to lead the league in terms of primetime appearances. But Andy Dalton, unequivocally a top 32 quarterback. Andy Dalton, unequivocally a starting quarterback in the NFL. Listen, he's from Texas. He has a house nearby in Dallas, and it's a different offseason when you consider the lack of an offseason program and the pandemic. And I think for a lot of these players, taking the one-year deal and having a new offseason, a fresh offseason next year.
There we go.
Very smart.
Sorry.
Very calculated.
For some reason, my screen.
Make no mistake, this is, in fact, insurance when it comes to Dak Prescott, but a message to Dak Prescott.
A message.
Who was the Dallas Cowboys backup quarterback before Saturday night?
Mm-hmm.
Answer, Cooper Rush. Yeah, I would have struggled with that one, too. Cooper rush was never going to win games with the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh.
Andy Dalton with Ezekiel Elliott in the backfield. Andy Dalton with Amari Cooper, with my guy, number 88, CeeDee Lamb, who I think is going to be sensational. My guy, Andy Dalton with Michael Gallup. He can absolutely utilize the wide receivers and the incredible running back. And Zeke is amazing when it comes to catching it.
Okay. But wait, because you listened today, there's more. Let's go to the tape
3
again.
years ago, and not notifying that quarterback only puts more light onto the situation. I don't think Dak Prescott needed this move to go and try and play his best football, but it certainly elevates the moment for him in this year.
Harry, how big a deal is all this to you?
Well, I think it's a big deal because when you look at Jerry Jones not notifying the head coach, that's what makes it a big deal. Now, if he notifies the head coach and lets him know that, hey, we're going to bring in Trey Lance, now that head coach can talk to Dak Prescott and let Dak Prescott know what's going on. I think when you look at Jerry Jones, and I think the writing is basically on the wall, when you look at where he is,
the writing is on the wall,
and not letting him know moving forward, and you have Dan Quinn as the defensive coordinator just sitting there waiting in the wings for an opportunity. I think we all know where Mike McCarthy's staying, and that's, on the hot seat. So he has to win this season. Now, as far as Dak Prescott, this is how I feel about this situation. My father told me this a long time ago. You don't ever worry about another man and what they got going on. You handle your business, and when you believe in what you are capable of doing, if you go out there and play the ball that you're supposed to play, everything else will take care of itself. Now, I do believe that when you look at a guy like Trey Lance, Dak Prescott shouldn't be worried about Trey Lance coming in. This is a guy that couldn't beat out Brock Purdy.
Right.
He couldn't beat out Sam Darnold, and he couldn't beat out Brandon Allen. So why in the hell would Dak Prescott be sitting over there with the Dallas Cowboys worried about this move that Jerry Jones made?
So there's a lot of different ways to slice that up. I'll give it back to Orlovsky and that face in a minute. But I've cleared the decks for Kmart, who we've not had here all week. And if I know you've been talking to everyone around the league as they've been reacting to this. What sorts of things have you been hearing?
Well, mostly surprise, obviously. Mostly people, though, were giving credit to Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch for actually saying, you know what, we made a mistake, let's move on. Because a lot of times we've seen in the NFL, people just are afraid to say, yeah, we messed up there. I will say, though, with the Jerry aspect, here's the thing. Jerry's going to do what he's going to do. People around the league know that. Like, if you don't know that you're the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys and Jerry Jones is going to make whatever move, sign whoever he wants to sign, trade whoever he wants to trade for, like, then you don't know what you're doing. Because Jerry Jones, he doesn't need to inform Mike McCarthy. Jerry's never been that guy. Jerry's always been the guy who's going to do what he wants to do. But I think for Dak, 3 things are true. The spotlight on him, even brighter. Number 2, Jerry clearly is thinking about the future. Because this is a move he didn't need to make necessarily.
Okay.
This doesn't help them this season. So what is the point of the move?
What is the point?
Saying, well, you know what? We're really high on this guy coming out of the draft. Maybe not a first-round pick, but we were pretty high on him. If he has time to develop, could I have found the next guy? How long will Dak be there? And then also Dak's contract. Earlier in the offseason, everyone was talking, the Dallas Cowboys were talking about, oh yeah, that's on our our list of to-dos. Sign Dak to a contract extension. That still has not happened. He's got a $59 million salary cap hit for next year.
Yeah.
So all of these things, the league high 15 interceptions last year, Dak coming in like the headlines will not say that I'm throwing interceptions next season. All the attention. This is a team that's going to win the Super Bowl. Everybody hopes. But it's not a move they needed to make, but the fact that they did shows that Jerry, he's already thinking beyond just this season.
And to all,
the more things change, the more they sound the same. It doesn't matter. I mean, we're down the same road. And the reality is whether there's somebody there or not, ultimately, it's going to be up to Dak to perform. And that, as my man said, you don't worry about what another man's going to do. You worry about what you're doing. If you're taking care of your business, there's nothing that anybody else can do. And that's what Dak Prescott's been doing. Does he need help? Hell yes, he does. he truly needs help. For everybody that's saying, well, he can't win, he's not elite enough to win it by himself. I don't know of any quarterback that is elite enough to win a Super Bowl by themselves. And we have to get the team around him to win. Now, you can go ahead and say, let's just go ahead and get rid of the quarterback because, people were excited that Dak Prescott went down and we got Andy Dalton. And how did that work out? We had, of course, everybody talking about how great Cooper Rush was, in relief of Dak Prescott. The team responded better to him. We had that opportunity last year. Did we go to the playoff? No, we did not. So it is what it is. And you know what? We them boys, we're going to forever be talked about, and that's just the way it is. I'm Mark Holmes, and I appreciate you guys. Peace out.